Hello, it's me, Heyo Spaghettio, and it's been a while since I've uploaded, and I had this idea for a series that I could do. I've been getting into collecting vinyl records, so I wanted to just go over the ones that I have. So this is episode 1 of whatever I decide to call this series, and we're starting off with one of my favorite albums that I have on vinyl. Love in the Front Lawn by St.Arnaud. Now, this is sort of a pop folk album, I would say. It has 10 songs on the back, and I just want to start out with the packaging. I love the cover for this album. It's a frog with his guitar. I love the font. And the back, how it lists all of the tracks, is great. Overall, I like the little sleeve for it. On the side, I don't know if you can see it. It says the artist, St.Arnaud, and the name of the album, Love in the Front Lawn. But yeah, it just looks great, and the vinyl looks even better. Let's pop this bad boy out. Look at that. That is very pink, but it looks great. Side A has 5 songs, and so does side B. Yeah, it's a beautiful record. I've played it once, and the reason I don't play records much more than one time is because on my record player, I just got it, so I don't have a counterweight for it, which means that there's not enough weight being put on the needle. So on heavy, curves, on heavy curves or heavy indents, which would happen from a bass note or a kick drum, the needle will go down too much and it will jump and skip. It happened a bit on this record, but thankfully I don't think it was damaged at all. I've looked at the record many times, mostly because it just looks really good. And secondly, because I don't want it to be broken. This is a record that I want to keep in its good condition. I've looked over it, and it doesn't seem to have been damaged too much, if at all, from any of the jumps. But yeah, overall, it sounded great on record. I think everything sounds better on record, just because of the experience of watching it spin on a turntable is so much better than just seeing a digital file getting played. Maybe that's a bit of a music snob in me, but I just love listening to things on record. But I might as well just go over the album as well, song by song. The first song in here, Cleellum Washington, is I think it's a great introduction to the album because it has a mixture of the synth pop aspects while still being very much a folk song. St.Arnaud is a folk artist at heart. He's best when he's with his guitars and his very folky instrumentation. And on this record, more than any of the other records that he's put out, he experiments with adding synths and making it a bit more poppy, such as cuts from the album like Sophie and Tie It All Together being much more sort of electronic based, but they still have good folk elements. I was worried going into this, since I've been a fan of St.Arnaud for pretty much since their first album. I was really worried going into this one that they would kind of deviate from their folk music, but I'm glad that they didn't. And some of these and the songs that incorporate more synths are actually my favorite. His songwriting skills have not been dampened at all by the new exploration into electronics. Still, some of the songs don't have any electronic elements that I can hear, And those are also some great ones, such as Catching Flies, Feeling Better, Enjoy Yourself, Big Winner, and Giving Up. That's like half the album. Don't seem to have any. They seem to be completely acoustic, and they sound amazing. And then songs which have electronic elements like Cleveland, Washington. Oh, Loving is one that doesn't have any. Sophie, How Could I Ever Compare? And Tie It All Together. They sound great because they use the electronic aspects of the album, but they don't overuse them. St.Arnaud did a really good job not to overuse electronic aspects on this album. And I think it really paid off. It really sounds great. It sounds like a natural progression from their previous record. Overall, I really enjoyed this on first listen, and I enjoyed it even more on vinyl. I got it this Christmas. It came a bit late, but I'm not mad about that. St.Arnaud is a very small folk band, maybe like 10,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. So I don't expect them to have primetime shipping like the biggest artists. But I am still hugely glad to have this record. It's a beautiful record too. If I haven't said it enough, this just looks amazing. I could listen. If I ever damaged the record, I could listen to it on Spotify and just look at the record and have an amazing time. But yeah, great album. I suggest you listen to it if you haven't already, because it really is great, and it feels timeless almost. Like, I don't think that this is gonna age poorly or age at all. It sounds like, you know, what an old folk artist would make if they were still around, you know, still making music after like 30 years. You know, it just sounds great in all departments. It really adapts to all of the experimentation that it does. And overall, I think that it's a great listen, even out, and especially on vinyl. Like, if you're a fan of St.Arnaud, then you should definitely get this on vinyl. And if you don't have a record player, then I don't know what to tell you. You should get a record player, because so much stuff just sounds so much better on vinyl. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. That's my St.Arnaud Love on the Front Lawn record. Bye-bye.